Okay, welcome back to mytakeoff.co.uk. Today we're going to discuss the 4 units of measurement that we generally use when doing a takeoff. So we're going to be covering linear meters, square meters, cubic meters, and number. So basically counting an item. I've already set the scale on this aerial photo. If you need to know how to do that, we've already done a YouTube video on that, so if you want to search that out on a previous video. So we're going to start by looking at linear meters. So in our measurement section here, we're going to select linear meters. We measure things in linear meters when it's sort of a straight run of something, so maybe a length of pipe work or a length of cable. In this instance, it's going to be lengths of curbs, edging curbs, which this client wanted around the edge of their new driveway. So if I show you an example of that, if I type in here pin curb and press start measuring. So basically the pin curbs ran along here, and as you can see, if you look in this top left hand corner here, you can see the meterage is increasing as we measure, and this, so we're basically measuring a longer line. If you were physically on site, you would be running a tape measure along here or a wheel to measure this. So here we are in the measurement pane at the side here. So we see the pin curves. We've got just under 31 meters, linear meters worth of pin curves. The next measurement you're likely to use is meter squared. So this is for anything that covers a surface. So if you imagine something like a carpet, if you're measuring up for a carpet, you'd measure it in meters squared. Maybe paint on a wall, you would measure that in meters squared. The tarmacking of this area here is measured in meters squared, as would the geotextile membrane, which would go underneath the subbase here, and that will be measured in meters squared. So the trade term for that is teram. It's a geotextile membrane. Just stops the fines being washed away. So we would we would dig this out and then lay the teram. So we're measuring a square area, and you're about to see the area we're measuring indicated by the highlighted green on the screen there. So there we go. 63, almost 64 meters squared of teram we will require for this. So if we save that, you can see it appears in the measurement area. So next, we'll move on to meters cubed. So this is basically a volume. If you were measuring concrete, you would measure it in meters cubed. Excavation is generally measured in meters cubed and then converted into tons, generally for muck away from site. So let's measure this. Again, it's the same area, but this is for excavation. Excavation. So here we go, we're going to start measuring, and basically we're going to go over the top of this one. So there's the area, and because we're on a flat screen, we can only measure meters squared. We need to put that third dimension in, which is depth. So let's imagine that we're going to dig a foot or 300 millimeters of earth out here. So that's 0.3 of a meter. and you can see that's now worked out to 19 cubic meters. So if we press save, so there we go. So this excavation here has now appeared in the measurement pane, so we can see how much we've got to excavate. The fourth measurement that you're likely to come across is number. It's basically counting. Let's imagine, for the sake of this, that the client here would like some, maybe they've got drainage issues and they want to collect the water off the drive, so we're going to install some gully pots, some drainage pots. So if we change this to gully pot or to gully, and we can start measuring, and then we can click on here. So there's 1, 2, 3 gully pots. Press save, and then in the measurement pane you can see gully pot has appeared as 3 numbers. So there we go, the 4 common types of measurement that you're going to use. Linear meters for things which go in a straight line or around a curve. Pipes, cables, in this case curbstones. Square meters for things which cover a surface, so turf, paint, teram in this instance, a geotextile membrane. Then we've got moving on to meters cubed, so things like excavation you would measure in meters cubed, or concrete, supplying and pouring of concrete will be measured in meters cubed. And then the fourth one is number, basically counting. So in this instance we're counting gully pots, but say if you were installing a kitchen, you may be counting wall sockets, or light switches and double sockets, or taps, individual taps, or anything basically that you can count. So I hope you found some value in that. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below, and we'll see if we can answer them for you.